Alright everybody, welcome back to the WPC Ace League. It is VG versus Orenda here in a two-game series. Game number 2 coming right up for you. We had a little bit of a break between the first and the second game, but already back into the action here, into the draft as you will. And well, Vici Gaming, they looked dominant in that first game. We'll see if Orenda can step up their play here and maybe get something going for them. Once again, thanks for so much for joining us here on BTS1. My name is Mott. With me is Pimp Muckle, excuse me. How are you doing, Pimp?
Wonderful. We just had a great game to watch. Perfect execution from VG. Pretty much, well, textbook play from, I want to say, every position. Especially RTK on his offline, I want to say. And yeah, can't wait. And also Orenda. Looks like they're just done with an Aegis Prophet. They just ban him out right away.
Yeah, and that's not a huge surprise, but that does leave a lot of other heroes in the pool coming out for Vici Gaming, obviously. They'll ban out the Ember Spirit, no surprise there. And I don't know, is there anything you would have done differently for Orenda? I could think of a couple things where maybe some picks. I'm not sure. What do you think that Orenda could have done differently in that game?
I think considering the picks they had, they did the right calls. I still would have liked to see some more rotations, but what can you really do when you have, I want to say, two completely unreliable stuns to actually go and gank someone, and that's a really big deal.
Yeah.
I know, it was just a bit unfortunate, and especially with the Quas Vex Invoke, you can just go and Ghost Walk away.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that really I think they had a plan for, and we've seen that strategy with Darkseer and the Jakiro before, but I just don't think that's the type of Dota that's being played now, at least with 6.81 out here. It's still a bit early. I mean, those heroes can be strong in their own right, maybe in a couple of weeks when people start figuring out how to use them in their lineups, but that's just not the way to go. And like you said, no reliable stuns, and Leshrac not really doing all of that much in that last game. So Orenda will pick up the Invoker, and Vici Gaming, well, what are they going to grab here? They have a lot of options. Sand King, one of their most picked heroes recently, and one of their favorite heroes as well. They get a lot of victories with him. On the Dire side, should be okay. Shouldn't be too problematic there. And they could also go for something like maybe, what am I missing here? They can go for Rubik again if they really wanted to. They've got a lot of options.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say Sand King is really strong right now, and it all, for me, it started with a dominating performance from DD, from the team LGD, pretty much just winning the game by himself in a, I don't know, it was like a 70-minute affair or something, and it was ridiculously great execution from him. And Sand King, I mean, he's great, he just needs a few levels early on, so it is kind of a greedy support. You really need the levels, especially, I want to say, the level 7. The maxing of the Burrow Strike is really important, but you can't just go into the jungle, stack a few camps, have your Sandstorm, do it up, and you're gonna have a lot of farm real quick.
Yeah, it's kind of gross how good it can be, and like, I don't know, man. You watch so much Dota. Like, some of these games that you watch, like, I swear, this guy lives in Germany, watches American Dota League, which is, I'm sure, like, 2 a.m. your time, like, when we're finishing up, or even maybe later than that. So I got to give props to you for your Dota watching abilities. It's pretty impressive, to say the least. So they're going to go for the A. They're going to go for the Rubik again. FY Rubik. We saw how good it can be, and I'm just a huge fan of it. The Ancient Apparition is a hero that got nerfed a bit, but still pretty strong, and not a surprise they go for it here. And two, I think, heroes that also combined very well together with Telekinesis and Cold Feet on top of that.
Yeah, and suddenly you have a great roaming combination. Ancient Apparition as well as Rubik. Once again, like, the Rubik isn't the strongest hero in the Trilands, but if you combine this with an insane stopping... Okay, not stopping power, obviously, but still, it's just so much damage from the Ancient Apparition. If you pick any sort of carry who can just, like, get in the face of anyone who's lifted up, you're gonna have a sure kill, and... Well, Vici, they've got everything they want here. Seriously, like, these are very active supports, and they're still going to be supporting a great level 6 ultimate. Both the Steel as well as your Ice Blast is going to be crucial here in this game.
Yeah, I think, honestly, the ultimates are so strong for these two heroes, and I mean, I expect nothing less from Fenrir than to snipe some people across the map and really make it miserable for Orenda right now. They have the Invoker, though, and I'm interested to see how they're going to play it, and if 290 picks it up again, because, well, he was playing the Pugna in that last game, and he actually did pretty well up against Super, so with an Invoker going their way, they might go for Quas Exort. They're picking up the Murano right now. Solid choice, I'd say. I guess their picks are a bit more standard than what you'd see in the last game, so Murano Invoker, a good start. Maybe they'll pick up a Shadow Demon if it's available. I don't see VG not banning it, so I guess that's one thing they could do. We'll see, though.
Yeah, I really enjoy seeing Mirana. I think the heroes are really, really strong. I know a lot of stats man just complaining about her, like, hey, everyone is talking about Ember Spirit as well as Invoker being completely and utterly OP or something, and Mirana was like a casual 60% win rate in what was it, like 300 something games picked up in 6.8? So yeah, she is still really strong, and the only nerf she got really was the vision.
Yeah, and that's not much when you think about it. The arrow vision is negligible at best, and you could argue that it needed to be smaller anyway. So Vici Gaming, they'll ban out the Sand King. That's a smart ban, I think. I'd be interested to see if they ban out the Shadow Demon. I feel like they have to here, but there's other options as well. You can always go for that Bane, which teams are starting to figure out to play against, especially with dedicated disables. It's kind of hard to get a team's grip off, so once you kind of pass that laning phase, it's a bit iffy. For ROTK, Furion's not going to be available, so offlane choices, there are a lot still in the pool, but this draft is very open-ended right now. There's nothing too crazy that we've seen or that we probably will see here in this picking phase. I don't know. I'm hoping for some like exciting pick like an Axe or something, but who knows, I suppose.
Axe. Considering there's still a Dazzle in the pool, we might still see like a third pick Dazzle, and wow.
Okay.
Really? It's an OD. Hell yeah.
I can get down with that. That's like before. It's kind of crazy how much we're like a month, or not a month, but like maybe a year ago, you see an OD and you're just like, no, I don't really want to watch that here anymore. But now you're like, okay, I can get down with an Outworld Devourer. I can get down with that. So that's a nice pickup, I think, especially if it's against the mid Invoker. Shut him down early on.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good idea, especially since Invoker is really XP staffed, and if you just Astral him all the freaking time, you can just deny, and well, Invoker's not going to be coming online at a long time.
5 seconds remaining.
It's rough. That's a rough pick into that, but maybe now Orenda go for something like a Kunkka or a Viper. You can lay the Invoker elsewhere. I mean, it's not really sure where this Mirana is going just yet. It might even be a support Mirana if they want to. Invoker can go to a side lane. You can pick up a Kunkka, but maybe VG already know that. I would have expected one of those bans to come out if they wanted to go for the OD, but there's still options for Orenda. I imagine a support might come out here, but they have 50-some-odd seconds left on the reserve time. So I want to remind everybody, this is a really big game for Orenda right now. Like, they need to get a victory here, or else they're going to be in a really rough position for WPC. For Vici Gaming, I think there's something like 15-2. So they are rolling right now. They just want to keep on rolling. The only team they're behind, I believe, is DK. And, well, I mean, they're the juggernauts. Orenda go for the Lone Druid, one of the heroes that I guess can combo or counter up against the OD. And we don't see too often, but I think it's a smart pick for them.
Yeah, I want to say OD. So the issue I have with him is always this sort of phrase everyone throws out as soon as OD does some crazy stuff in the mid game. You win your lane, and that's a given, and then you lose the game regardless. So the question is, how well can the OD actually snowball? If he doesn't have any sort of big intelligence-based items, he can't drop the hammer as hard as he wants to, and he's gonna fall off very quickly. If he has the great start, if the supports are gonna be making the rotations happen, and Invoker is gonna die like, I want to say like 2 times tops, suddenly, this OD is going to be completely out of hand, and even though they're going to have kind of elusive heroes on the side of Orenda, Invoker's going to have a Ghost Walk, Mirana's going to have a Leap, and the Lone Druid, well, he's just really tanky. Let's keep it at that, and maybe pick up a Cloak or something.
Yeah.
Still, if this OD has a great start, he's going to crush people's face in.
Yeah, and that's with the Rubik or the Ancient Apparition coming out and securing some kills as well. So, yeah, it really comes down to stopping the snowball like you talked about of the OD, and that absolutely can happen. I mean, they can gank him. They've got ways to do so. I mean, they have a freaking Mirana for God's sake. So they have that option to shut this OD down. It might be difficult with the way Vici Gaming were rotating in that last game, but I do want to make a correction. It's actually not DK that they're behind. They're behind Newbie, who's actually 15-5 right now. Wow. But I think they're actually now tied up with them, and if they win this game, they'll be leading. Vici Gaming will be, I guess, the top tier in terms of league play right now for WPCAs. Vici go for the Wraith King, though. Wow, that is... I love this pickup here as well. This is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also, just, I'm still sleeping, sorry guys. This is obviously going to be a Lone Druid, and you mentioned the Invoker being laned in the safe lane. Lone Druid is the counter pick to the OD. You can also lane down a Kunkka in the mid lane, just Tidebring harass him down. But Lone Druid is actually really strong against the OD, so yeah, this is going to be what they're going to be looking at. And the question is now, does Vici try to move the OD around and have like a safe lane OD suddenly and something else for the mid? Because Lone Druid is going to be giving him a really tough time.
Well, and now they're really going to go hard in denying this OD. We've seen Lich dual lanes before, and maybe it's the case now with the Lone Druid Lich. I feel like Lich is just so good at denying Outworld Devour experience and kind of shutting him down in that snowball, but maybe they do lane him elsewhere. The thing is, before that Wraith King, I'd say, yeah, sure, pick up another hero that can go mid. But with Wraith King now, it kind of keeps things a little bit interesting. You don't know where everyone's going to go. You could do like a solo safe OD, Wraith, Rubik, Ancient Apparition, Tri-Lane, and then go for something mid here if you really want to. They have that option. But Orenda, they're really going to try to shut down this OD as hard as possible with the Lich. And obviously, Chain Frost is really good as well. And with the new ice armor change as well to the buildings that it can, of course, give armor to. It's pretty strong, and I think we'll see Lich a bit more often here in the future. I like the pick, but I don't know. I think Vici Gaming are going to try to avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah, I want to say Lich, what I don't like about the hero is going to be his Aghanim Scepter upgrade. I'm going to be completely honest here.
I agree.
People completely overhyping this so much. Like, you won't stack 3 Aghanim Scepters ultimates on some sort of Ancients. Maybe in the real late game when there is like no teamfight brewing for the next 15 minutes. But when does this happen? Maybe with a Naga Siren. But she's just going to go ahead and pop some illusion and that's going to be completely fine. However, you mentioned it early on, Lich armor on buildings is a huge deal. Not only that there is a lot of more armor in between, but also those slows, and it's so annoying to deal with. And so far, Vici, they don't have any sort of good tower pusher yet.
Yeah, and you combine that up with maybe a Treant Protector, which I don't know if they'll pick up here, but it's like impossible to push down a tower at that rate with the living armor and obviously the ice armor on as well. It's very difficult to deal with, so Vici Gaming, pushing is probably not their #1 priority. It's more so about team fighting, getting farm on their cores, which obviously OD and Wraith King will be. Maybe Wraith King goes for something like a Blade Mail early on. You can farm up a Radiance if it's going to be Sylar. We'll see what he wants to go for. They'll pick up the Darkseer themselves. The Wombo combo is real. The Vacuum into the Sanity's Eclipse. That is going to be disgusting to see. But again, this is a Darkseer that relies a lot on levels. You can shut him down like we saw in that last game. So Vici Gaming will have to be careful about that.
Yeah, and especially when you're laying the Invoke in your easy lane. This is going to be a good time for the Darkseer.
Oh, wow.
Wow, it's a Bristleback. That's interesting. We didn't see him in a long time.
Yeah, 6.79. Oh, I am getting... Okay, I was lagging for a second there. Maybe Valve servers are not doing so well here. Please.
The Great Firewall.
I think we're okay, though. It looks like it was just a little bit of lag, and I got scared for a second. But we are going to jump into the game, guys. It's VG versus Orenda here. It's the last game here in a 2-game series. We are lagging hard. Are you getting that lag, too, or is it just me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But it looks like it's just the Chinese firewall.
Yeah, okay.
Because everyone else is not complaining or something, so yeah.
All right, well.
Gonna be fine.
Here we go for, again, Orenda. This time on the Radiant side, we'll have Yi. He'll be up on the Lich in this top lane, maybe trying to deny some creeps from, well, whoever. And ZYF on the Bristleback, and a hero that we have not seen in quite some time, like you mentioned. Feels like 6.79 Dota all over again. In the mid lane, we'll have Yim. He'll be on the Lone Druid right now with Black on the Mirana. Maybe going to help him out early on here. And to round it all out, 290, going to be on the Invoker. He's already Exhort, so Quas Exhort Gaming coming out for this Invoker. And yeah, this is how you kind of expected the lanes to go, I guess, except for obviously Yi with the Lich here in this top lane. But they could change things around. They still have time.
And very smart play here from Orenda. They're using his Spirit Bat to just scout out the bottom lane. And it looks like, hey guys, we're going to have a bear in the bottom lane, so maybe there's our LD as well. Are you really sure you want to lane just like you do right now? And well, speaking of laning, currently in the bottom rune spot, it's gonna be the only king that matters, played by the one and only Sylar, being supported up by Fenrir on the Ancient Apparition, as well as FY on the Rubik. Mid lane, well, they're not gonna be falling for any sort of trap. It's gonna be Super on the OD, which leaves none other than ROTK on the safe lane farm. Well, not too much of a farm, but he's going to be the safe lane solo here.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be safe lane versus safe lane with 290. Well, I guess safe lane versus off lane with 290 on the Invoker going Exhort right now. Solo versus Tolo is what I meant to say. ROTK, he should do just fine in this lane. He can get right-click down, but he might have a tough time. They are going to lane right now with the Lone Druid mid. Super is going to be here as well. He doesn't seem to be too concerned. There is a lot of lag coming out right now. Obviously, nothing we can do about it. Mostly just either, I guess, the Chinese servers or just Chinese internet in general right now. I'm sure their ping is probably fine. Ours, not so much, but we'll try to bring you the action. Aggressive tri-lane going to be coming out for VG. FY has the DD rune, and oh boy, here we go again.
Ouch, it hurts, yeah, but still, you mentioned earlier on RTK is going to be fine. Well, meanwhile, bottom lane, there's going to be the Bristleback lifts up, and is this going to be an easy first blood? No, it actually happens in the mid lane, but still Bristleback being stunned up, and there they go. And we have so many dropped animations, I have no idea what's going on.
It's slideshow Dota right now, guys. Nothing we can do about it. ZYF getting caught out, though. This should be the death of him. There's no Fade Bolt, or not. He got back home. I don't honestly know what's going on. I do apologize for this, but I don't think there's anything we really can do about it.
Nope, we absolutely cannot. And well, RTK top lane, it's gonna be Black rotating in, but is there really gonna be any sort of kill happening? Absolutely not. Which means this is gonna be like a 2-1-2 coming out from Orenda. I like this actually. Lich is really strong in those sort of situations.
This is literally slideshow Dota right now. This is unbelievable, and I do apologize. All right, well, I mean, we'll try to keep as much action on the game as we possibly can, but I think for at least a bit, this is what's going to be going on. Black is trying to zone out ROTK top, and they're doing a good job of it. With Ion Shell, though, he's going to town right now. Meanwhile, mid, there's going to be a rotation potentially, looking for this bear. Finally, no more slideshow. It looks like we're okay. We've jumped back into, I guess, full animation Dota. All of that drop frame going to be gone there for the most part, so okay, I think we're good. All right. We've got through the worst
I'm still lagging.
Okay, well.
It's going to be alright.
Rip.
It's gonna be alright.
All right. Well, as it stands right now, I mean, yeah, they're dual laning it like you talked about in this top lane for Orenda and RTK. He's getting zoned out a little bit, but he should be fine nonetheless. And it really comes down to rotations, I think, for both sides here, and we'll see who ganks who and how everyone else is doing in terms of CS in a bit.
Yeah. So far, I mean, we're kind of expecting it. The Exort Invoker is just pulling ahead so much, and also the harassment coming out from the Iron Shell. He's a ranged hero. He's also gonna have so much damage from the Exort, so he can just deal with the harassment coming out from those creeps kind of better than Sylar in the last game. But still, it's gonna be really annoying to play against. And there's a courier dead.
Yeah, it was actually the Mirana rotated mid, and this was what I was talking about. This is really now bad for Super. He actually, I'm not sure what was on it. I think he was just bringing himself boots. He's not going to be going for a bottle or anything like that on the Outworld Fire, at least not yet, but that courier being dead is a bit of an issue. Gives that gold the way of Orenda. That's a good start for them and something that they desperately needed. FY and Fenrir continue to kind of make these rotations mid and maybe look for a gank. Yim might get caught out, but his bear continues to scout here on the other side of these trees, so he immediately knows that something's coming his way. Really smart positioning coming out from Yim here for Orenda, but
at the same time,
lane.
Yeah. Exactly, top lane RTK, but there is no arrow. There was a leap forward, looks like, and there is an arrow. Does it clip? Yes, it does, Sunstrike! Nails him down. I have no idea if this actually hit, but it looks like it hit because there is a kill. And now it actually is on my board as well. Wow, this is some new viewing experience.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, you are still lagging, and it seems like everything is kind of going frame by frame again, but for me, I'm back into it. We're ready to go. I guess everything is still going, I guess, swimmingly for both sides here. They're still trying to get some CS, obviously. Wraith King's sitting at 12, so Sylar now not really in an aggro tri-lane. They're actually just trying to help out top. Arrow flying, just missing on Fenrir. Trying to right-click. Fenrir getting low, though. The Chilling Touch is up. Not enough damage. Black might try to turn his attention to FY, who doesn't have Fade Bolt yet. He's still level 1, almost level 2, but a rough start coming out for Vici Gaming, and it looks like they really don't know how to lane this and deal with it right now. The off-lane Wraith King is still getting some decent CS. He's still getting okay farm. ZYF in the Bristleback. He's got boots. He's got, I guess, a stout shield as well. Nothing too crazy there. The highest CS in the game right now is Super, as you can clearly see, which is a good start, but the Invoker, like you talked about, 21 CS for him as well. Are you back in yet, my friend?
No, not yet. But still, I'm really surprised that Super's doing so hot. And it all comes down, once again, to the support rotations coming out from the bottom lane. Since they I mean, it was an aggro try, and you're kind of to be expected that you're doing great then. And you have the ganking potential in the mid lane. And if you use your bear to scout, it is not going to be happening. Like, the CS just is not there, because you need the bear to CS. Otherwise, you're going to get asphalt.
Exactly.
And I'm back. Wonderful.
He's only setting an 11 last hits, and you're exactly right. You really need this bear to, I guess, get yourself going here against this. I mean, this is why you pick the lone druid against the AOD, is for this specific reason, just so you can CS with your bear, or at least harass or something. I mean, right now, the bear, well, he's got Entangling Claws, so we'll see. And as it stands right now, still a bit of CSing going the way. They're maybe looking for an arrow to set up mid here. I'll throw up a ward first, but there's a creep wave that might be in the range of an arrow hitting Super right now, so everything's kind of changed around. They kind of just, I guess, given up on that aggressive tri-lane bottom and left Sylar to his own devices as well.
Well, Sylar's doing, but I mean, Sylar's doing really hot. He's got 1 level of the crit, and now he's getting initiated. He's got 4 stacks. Throws out a stun. He's gonna be most likely fine. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna dive this in. Well, there goes TP rotations to mid lane. There was a Sunstrike, it looks like. Super just running away here. He's got a pot. Man, that's a close one.
Yeah, he almost went down there. Getting salved up now. Of course, the rotation coming through from FY just to help out, make sure they didn't dive any further than that. But that was close. That death really... And like you talked about, they need to shut down Super as much as possible. At least just try to stop him from snowballing. 28 CS is good at 6 minutes. Could get more. Obviously, a kill would be nice as well. But he went down. I think he was first blood. So that obviously hurts a bit, but not that much. FY roaming through here, maybe looking for a potential hit up. But Sylar, he's got the DD. He's got Wraith Fire Blast as well. He's just going to roam top, it looks like, and maybe try to find something else. Maybe they're going to go for a kill. Astral Imprisonment. The Entangling Claws did come through. Sylar's got to try to take this bear down with his double damage rune, but yeah, he was doing well down bottom, but he backs away. He's got to try to get 6, and with Reincarnation, he could kind of stay in lane a bit more, I guess, safe, but we'll see how things go here in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, it's a level 1 reincarnation though, so it's got like such a long cooldown. It's close to 5 minutes, and you really don't want to use your reincarnation on level 1. Obviously, if you just get away anyways and just wait out the cooldown, it's gonna be completely fine. But if you've got this issue where like you're close to the level 11, you're not gonna be sporting your level 2 ultimate just yet, and suddenly you get ganked by a lot of people, and you just don't have it for like a long time, and well, that's really unfortunate. Also, Sylar, considering he's up against the Bristleback, who's just gonna be stacking up his quills onto you, he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, this is not an easy lane, and the base damage nerf did hit Bristleback kind of hard. People haven't played him as much, but ZYF, he's going for a mech. That's a standard build that we used to see in 6.79 when he was played a lot. He's still a very strong hero, and he can also help snowball his team to a victory with decent amount of damage from Warpath, the Viscous Nasal Good, which is really good armor reduction as well. Sylar looking for a kill on 290. He'll try to juke out with that Wraithfire Blast, not getting anything done there. There's no Ghost Wall. Cold Snap is going to fly through. Only one tick of it hitting up there. A bit of a waste, but it's still nothing really going on across the map, just more farming coming through from both sides.
Yeah, so far it is kind of a passive game, which is rather surprising considering we've got Vici here on the game. But also, I want to say Orenda's doing a good job with his roaming Mirana. I mean, Black is really just bullying out RTK out of his own jungle right now. And it is a level 4 Mirana against a level 7 Darkseer, so that's kind of surprising, I want to say.
Yeah, Darkseer, we haven't seen him in a while, but he's found his levels. He has gotten up there, and level 7 is really strong for him right now. He's getting closer and closer. He'll actually put a point into his wall before getting a point in vacuum at all, which is fine. It kind of deters people from fighting into, obviously, the wall of Replica. And Super's going to go ahead and Astral Black here in this mid lane. He has 1 point to the Arcane Orb. He's actually gotten it very early at level 7, getting 3 points into the Astral, 2 points into the Essence Aura, so he's going to rely on maybe a bit more damage early on here and try to maybe find a gank. FY looking to ward up potentially. No, he's already got one here. He'll pick up the Haste Rune and maybe come mid with it. RTK has rotated down bottom, so he should be okay to just sit here. And everyone is roaming around the map from VG looking for something to do. If they can't find something, they'll go to the jungle or at least try to leech some experience elsewhere. And I think that's what's really smart coming out. Orenda getting telekinesis. Maybe in trouble? No, he's not going to fall, but alright.
Yeah, you also got a leap. I mean, it's very hard to bring him down. And you don't have too much of a global presence at all. Ancient Apparition is not level 6 yet. Fenrir's doing a good job just staying top lane, just getting some levels his way and just pulling the lane. But this is really all there is to it. Now he can just pull through and get a lot of XP his way. He's going to be level 6 at a good time though, and then we're going to see a lot more action happening. Because so far, well, what was a good lane early on for Super is now a very hard one. Suddenly the Entangle comes, and whenever there's this, well, sudden proc of the Entangling roots, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, he'll have to be careful. He will maybe save his Astral for himself there in that position. Sylar is diving hard here on 290. He'll cold snap out right now. Not doing too much damage with it. Sylar is just diving the creep wave. He's got another Wraithfire Blast. He's got no mana for that reincarnation. He's got 7 stacks. There's going to be the Sunstrike. It is going to hit up at Sylar looking for this kill. Can he get it? He's a bit too slow, but the Wraithfire Blast will clean up. He's got no reincarnation. The Frost Blast is going to go. He just wanted and switched his shreds as well. Really well played from Sylar. Now going to town on Yi. He'll throw his Wraithfire Blast. Will he get a double kill here? It looks like he will. What a play from Sylar to tread switch right there at the end. Really impressive. Now might die to Yim here. Going to throw up his true form, trying to avoid that Wraithfire Blast, and now there's the Entangle proc coming through. He'll stun the bear up. ZYF is rotated through as well, but now support comes. Oh, that arrow just missing. Super not wanting to fight. He's got his sanities, but it looks like that'll be the end of the engagement. Sylar putting the team on his back, getting 2 quick kills with excellent usage of that tread switching.
Sylar, what a player. Not only diving literally behind a tier 2, just completely behind enemy lines and still getting 2 kills. I mean, he expended his ultimate, but if you get 2 kills as a Wraith King, no one was helping him there. So yeah, that's a really good thing to have. And well, suddenly game is going to be looking really good for Vici once again. It's now 3 for 3 on the board. And well,
man, nice Sunstrike. That was good.
There you go.
Yep. So 290.
Suddenly 4 for 3.
Yeah, 290 being involved in that kill kind of helps out. He's actually been involved in, well, 3 of his kills right now, or 3 of his team's kills rather. Meanwhile, top lane, Lich gets a kill. That'll be on the Wraith King. Now they're going to try to dive here on Fenrir and FY. FY getting low. Still no spell steal. He's only level 4. The right click from the Lich. That's enough for a double kill, which you don't see too often other than a Lich ultimate, which he did use in that engagement, but now they'll try to maybe put some pressure here on this tower, and they turn it around. It's suddenly 6-3 for Orenda. This is a big victory for them. We'll see if they can take a tier 1 with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like a minute ago, I was calling them out like, hey, Vici's coming back in this game. Well, turns out absolutely not. And Invoker picking up another kill on the bottom tier 1. Those Forge Spirits, I mean, that's such a crucial level here. Invoker, he's now level 9, and this is exactly where he comes online real hard suddenly. He's got his Midas, he's got all the levels he really needs, and now there's going to be double Forge Spirits pushing down every lane. Question is Is he going to be going for the, well, I want to say pushing-oriented Necrobook strategy here?
I think it's going to be Necro. That just seems to be the thing most Quas Exort Invokers do nowadays. I guess there are a lot of other options, obviously, but Necrobook just seems the best option here. He might go for, I don't know, I guess bots at some point, but he actually went phase, so that's interesting. You usually see Brown Boots instead into the Necro eventually, but he was in that Sile Ban, obviously. And maybe a Basilius to try to get his mana, I guess, problem solved at least a little bit, but Necrobook just seems to be the item everyone wants to go for. And now Orenda, they have the top 3 in net worth. This is a far cry from Vici and what we saw in that last game. And rotations are really working out well for Orenda. An arrow is going to fly. It's going to miss on Super there in that mid lane. They're going to try to encroach upon him and maybe get a kill here, but he's going to sit behind his tier 1 tower. TP rotations at the ready for VG. They are not really looking as solid as they were in that first game where they had just absolute dominance over Orenda. They'll try to go for this tier 1 tower right now. Super's getting pushed back here. He's got his 4 staff, so he's still okay. Dodges the arrow, but they're going to lose perhaps another tier 1 tower, and it will fall to the hand of the Invoker.
Yeah, once again Invoker. Now he's got 2 losses on the towers to his name, as well as 60 CS with just 12 minutes in. That is pretty good, if I may say so. And, well, so far, I want to give it up to Black, actually. Like, this roaming Marana is just doing a lot of work and creating a lot of space. He's got 3 assists right now, only 6 CS, but I mean, he's a roaming Marana, so what do you expect from him?
Yeah.
And suddenly, he's going to go top and get some experience as well as some CS if he doesn't hunt for Sylar, who doesn't have his ultimate ready to go. Oh, this could be big. Do they have a Sunstrike?
I think, yeah, with the Sunstrike, maybe it'll be enough, but without it, they certainly can't get this kill. Sylar, he's going to run away from this camp. Black is going to follow him still. He's waiting for his teammates to get here, it looks like, and they actually have vision of him with, of course, the Observer Ward and the Marana following soon after. But Super gets a kill down bottom on Yim, getting caught out. Sylar going to get Frost Blasted. Arrow is probably going to fly through here in his second Wraithfire Blast. The Sunstrike, he dodged it just barely, but still, the arrow is going to connect, and Black will get the kill with his right clicks there. They'll TP down bottom. This is maybe a dangerous position to be in. They might have Chain Frost. Looks like they do, and they have enough mana to use it as well. Will they go for this? The Frost Armor on ZYF coming out. He gets Astraled immediately. More TP rotations coming through. Now ROTK and the rest of the squad backing off. VG not willing to pressure this tower and take a couple of deaths, so they'll make their way out of there. Still chasing through. Now Super trying to fight on Black. Sandy's Eclipse was just used, by the way. 4 staff away. They'll grab the kill, though, with Super. Chain Frost only bouncing once. Now the TP away doesn't matter. The Bristleback coming through with that Quill Spray. Picks up another kill, and well, it looks like it's a 1-for-1 trade there as Black gets caught out of position.
Yeah, and meanwhile, mid lane. Oh, I thought I jinxed it. FY. I had the animation from the Entangling Root, but somehow, some way, he just walked out of it, so I guess there was none. I don't know what's happening with my client. Anyways, it is still a rather good trade here, I want to say. So Orenda, they're now 8 for 5 up here, and the big thing is going to be the Invoker once again. So we mentioned early on, well, Necrobook is going to be the name of the game here for him, and it means so much split push, as well as just having insane tower killing potential. You're going to have a lone druid to boot there, so whenever you win a team fight, there's going to be a tower falling real quick.
And it's not like they need the gold either. Orenda is sitting on a 7,500 gold lead right now, which Vici Gaming, it's going to be tough to find a way back into this, because Sylar, he's not on the hardest carrying hero. We talk about an anti-mage like he had in the last game, and that's really good for late, but Wraith King, you don't see as much. Yes, you have Reincarnation, and you could do a bit of damage, but is it going to be enough here to stop the push coming in from Orenda? And a lone druid who will be super farm potentially. Looks like he's going for that Radiance, his bear.
Arrow FY. Oh wow, that's a big one. They're going to follow up. Well, I broke frame, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's alright. Sunstrike's going to fly through. He's going to miss on FY right now. 4 step forward. Sylar looking for a hit up, but he cannot get it as Moonlight Shadow goes. The Sentry Ward now is down. They're going to walk right back in here. They'll back away. Sylar has his Reincarnation. There's the Frost Blast going through. Now, maybe in trouble. He'll have to use the Wraithfire Blast on the bear. They're still chasing him. The Viscous Nasal Goo slowing him down. The arrow flying. Looks like it'll miss there as well, but Vici Gaming, a war of attrition that they're not winning. There is going to be this fortification. RTK trying to take the mid-tier 1 tower, now backing off his Orenda. They don't want to go for more. They're not going to bite off more than they can chew here. They'll make their way out of town, and it looks like Orenda, they're going to TP home and maybe try to stop RTK from taking this mid-tier 1 tower, but smart engagement coming out with that Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah, that was really crucial. The Wraithfire Blast was in the animation, and suddenly, well, everyone was in Viz, and there's no kill to be had for the only king that matters, and to the buy. He's just picking up an armlet, so he is going for this more fighting-oriented route. If you pick up an armlet, you usually want to fight. The other way around, you could go for a Maelstrom into Mjolnir and just fight a little bit later. But, well, if you pick up an armlet, you just want to be this big tank in those fights. And considering there's no AE on the enemy team, I think it's a good call.
Orenda now getting caught out. 290 blowed up by that Wraithfire Blast. The Ancient Apparition ult going through as well. Siler taking some damage. He still has his reincarnation. They're going to try to go for this tier 1 tower now as a team. They've seen Orenda 5-man. They're going to try to go for it themselves here. ZYF is going to farm bottom. He knows maybe he can try to TP and help out here. They're going to 4 it up. They'll try to fight. The Siler is rather low, but once again, he's got reincarnation. Nice Astral. Here's an arrow on ROTK. He gets forced out. Chain Frost coming through. ROTK, Siler both low. It'll bounce to the creep and back to ROTK potentially. No. Sunstrike just landing. No, it's ZYF getting the kill with the Quill Sprays. 1-for-0 trade. Orenda, they've got so many different ways to fight, especially with that Chain Frost, but now it's on cooldown and only got 1 kill because of it. Now they'll try to go for a tier 2 tower.
Yeah, also 30 more seconds on this, I want to say, fight insurance, that is the Moonlight Shadows. Are you going to be seeing a repeat of game 1 where they suddenly just lose team fights? Well, no, I don't think so.
Oh man, blown up with that Sandy's Eclipse. That's a huge kill on that Bristleback. They get slowed a bit there, but they're still ready to go. Astral coming out with that nice 4-staff play from Super. And the Sylar still very low. They're not going to take the bait and try to go on him there. He can obviously armlet toggle. He has his ultimate ready to go. If he goes down, reincarnation is up and available. But 1-for-1 trade, I guess when it's all said and done, they can't really push the tier 2 towers. So it looks like VG are fighting back a bit. But Yim is getting closer and closer to that relic as well.
Yeah, and the relic is going to be really crucial. Suddenly there's not only going to be like 4 minions in every lane from the Invoker. Suddenly there's a bear with a Radiant just chilling out. And that's going to be really annoying to deal with. Because so far, so the OD, he doesn't do too much damage to the bear right now. So yeah, that's a really big issue. And the Wraith King, even though he's got an armlet, he really needs a bit more until he can be this sort of one position hard carry everyone loves. And well. I don't know. It just feels way harder. They're completely not out of it so far, and especially not with some Force Spirit Steel here. 1005 HP? Who's going to be taking him? I have no idea. Oh, it was black. Alright.
Mirana denying that tower. Nicely done there, as you mentioned. And yeah, you talked about the minions in the lane. Like, how do you deal with like 2 force? Oh, nice arrow.
Oh, that arrow.
Will they turn on this? Looks like they will. They want to try to fight. Starstorm not available. He actually didn't level it up at all. He maxed out his Sacred Arrow. Moonlight Shadow going through. Is there a sentry here? 290 trying to fight. Sunstrike not going to hit because of that Astral. It actually was stolen. FY got to turn it around. Boom! What a play!
Wow!
Nice steal into a kill. He didn't even know it was coming. That's some long-range artillery, and that's a stealth bomber from FY right there if I've ever seen one. Damn.
It's an MLG 360.
Arrow flying through from black. It looks like it'll hit up on Roshan, but he'll get vision. They know they're in here now.
Yeah, but can they really contest? They don't have the Invoker ready to go, so no Sunstrike, and he's very high up in the level sides. Speaking of levels, actually everyone on Orenda is so high. Wow, they're all level 11 except for the roaming Mirana.
Arrow flying. It's going to hit on Sylar right now, but they don't seem to mind. It looks like they're going to take this Roshan and just grab the Aegis real quick. And yeah, they are really looking good for experience, but it's actually not that much, surprisingly enough, because VG's not too far behind. It's about 2,000 experience. With that Roshan, it helps out a bit too. Yeah, but you were right. They needed that Invoker there for that fight, or at least to try to contest. And with that Aegis now going, it did get picked up by the OD, so Super is going to be, I guess, the carry here in this mid-game. 1,300 gold in the bank. An Ultimate Orb, I'm not sure if that's flying out for him. I believe it is for Super, so that'll be the start of his scythe, I'd imagine. And I don't know, if you're Orenda right now, you're like, okay, we have to keep this pressure here. We have some decent heroes. We've got some decent team fight. Maybe wait for the ratings to be done, I guess. And like you said, the Necrobook is going to be a bit of an issue too, so.
Yeah, but currently it's only Necrobook 1.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most underwhelming items in the game. Like, as good as Necrobook 3 is, Necrobook 1 is equally bad. It's just nothing. Like, the minions are going to be falling quickly. They still give a lot of bounty, a lot of experience. And they just, I don't know, it just feels like so bad. So yeah, I feel like they need to wait for a bit.
I mean, he has that Midas. He's actually getting close to that second Necro. He's got to throw up a Sunstrike somewhere. Actually, that might have just been on black coming out from FY, who probably still has that spell stolen. Yep, he just used it, so. This guy, FY, what a Rubik player. But
what a player.
Yim now, his Radiance is done. So all of a sudden, that adds a little bit of an extra element to this game. They have a pipe as well, now up on their Bristleback, which is huge up against Sandy's Eclipse and what have you. So they have fighting potential. They might wait till the Aegis is gone and then go for it, but they might lose a tower or two in the process. I think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. Like, if you fight against the Aegis right now without a Radiance, without your Necrobook 3s, do you really want to win the fights, or do you just want to trade a bit? Because so they can still win, but it's going to be really hard.
the thing is, they'll have to really rely, I think, on the lone druid late if it goes that long. They're going to go for a tier 2 tower right now, so it looks like they do want to push. They'll try to trade maybe a tier 1 for a tier 2. The bear, he's leading the way. Radiance, FY's coming here as well. Necro 2's now done. Super's going to try to take this down. It's going to take damage. They're telekinesing it right now. Bringing it back. Looks like this bear will fall. No, the pipe is up. It will go down. I think it might have got resummoned at the end there. No. It did fall, and of course give that bounty up to Vici Gaming, but this tower is so low. ZYF just running in, man-boating. Xylar's Cold Snap, getting Good up as well. They'll search him away, still taking damage, but he is fine. Arrows flying, it's going to hit on Super. Yes, it will clip him. They'll try to rotate around and make sure that they don't follow up, and they're already backing off. Orenda says they don't want any part of that fight with that Aegis still up on Super. Mech up on VG, and back to farming we go for 290.
Yeah, and, well, kind of surprising that there was no Sunstrike, but since I don't have any sort of animation, I guess it was just used early on. And the good news for VG was obviously that there was going to be a tier 1 falling, and if I remember, it was OD picking up the bounty. Yes, he did, so Super, you mentioned it, he's going to have a scythe real soon. He can just buy the Mystic Staff right now if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, he's only a couple hundred away from finishing that item off, and that's going to be gross, so... Super is actually now leading the net worth, something that, well, no one on his team has accomplished since the start of the game. It's 22 minutes in now, and as good as Orenda have played, it just seems like they're not doing anything wrong right now, potentially. I mean, yeah, they got picked off and they lost the Aegis because, well, I mean, VG's on Dire's side, but other than a couple of misplays here and there, which, I mean, there really haven't been much of, Orenda are still playing, I think, solid Dota, so...
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, considering the lineup of Orenda, they're going to have your lone druid with a carry. I mean, he's a strong carry, obviously, but he is his strongest, I want to say, in the later stage of the mid game, or in this early late game stage, when he's got like 2 or 3 items on the bear, and the bear is still very tanky, because in the very late stage of the game, suddenly the bear, 2.7k HP, that is not that much when everyone is spotting like 6 items in his inventory, and then the Wraith King is really going to be coming into play, and well, we're going to see a smoke. There's no one in the bottom lane though.
Yeah, they don't have vision in the jungle right now, so this is just going to be a little bit of a lonely smoke. They're going to take a nice little stroll down to this bottom lane, maybe push it out. They might be able to grab the bear here. It just gets re-summoned real quick up to that top lane, and now there might be a tier 2 push here. Something that VG might want to defend. Aegis still up and ready to go. He's got that scythe like you talked about, and looks like they're just going to give this up. There's no way they can defend. They'll throw up the A ult. It's a little bit late to get there. It will land, but that is a Necro 3 now, I believe, coming out. Or is it still Necro 2? It is Necro 3. He just bought it up not too long ago. Now they'll come to defend, and VG, who had such a dominating performance, well, backs against the wall potentially. Fadebolt's going to fly through RTK. He's got Vacuum wall ready to go. Wraithfire Blast on the bear. Might go down. Salar getting arrowed up as well. Nice Astral to keep him alive. Bear's done. Is that on cooldown for a while? Who knows? Hex up on ZYF. Chain Frost going to fly through. There is the Deafening Blast. Salar getting low. He's got Reincarnation. RTK splitting, but he will maybe let Fenrir go down and take the hit there, but still staying alive. They will defend. They'll kill the bear off. It is actually alive. He just resummoned it there, so they're not going to go in. They can't fight into the wall, and they'll say, let's back off, let's not go again, and just keep farming here.
Yeah, even Sylar still has his ultimate, and now there's a Moonlight Shadows. No? Okay, it was used early on, I'm sorry. Looks like they just disengaged with it. I just heard the sound. I was like, hey, what? Okay, but still, like, since he didn't die and didn't even use his reincarnation, he can just go once again. The only big cooldown besides the reincarnation is going to be the Sanity's Eclipse, and, well, it is great, but it's not as mandatory, I want to say, as a reincarnation. Now, you might... Okay, so that's questionable, but I still want to say, like, they can still fight.
No, I get what you're saying, because he has a Scythe and he's also got the Arcane Orb as well. I mean, he can dish out the right-click damage, and all the other abilities besides Reincarnation and Sandy's Eclipse are pretty low cooldown. Ice Blast, Rubik's Spell Steal, even Wall to a certain extent is a pretty short cooldown. So, I mean, they certainly can fight if they want to. The problem is, do Orenda want to? I mean, they are the ones pushing in right now. I feel like that last push was not desperate, but they wanted to get something done, so... They're not able to find anything. They can't get the tier 3 tower. They lose a hero, I believe. Well, they lost the bear, which is pretty much a hero in its own right. They had to resummon it. And for now, Vici Gaming, they just want to continue to farm, get RTK as next item, and, well, go from there.
Well, there is still a tier 2 standing in the mid lane, and this is going to be a really easy target. And in the next 2 minutes, there is going to be a new Roche timer coming up, and we're going to see if this is going to be a quick Roche. I think this is going to be favoring Orenda heavily, if they're not committing to a team fight right now.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah, and
has
Orenda,
fallen.
yeah, you're exactly right. They will take down that easy tier 2 tower right now. Meanwhile, they'll push everyone back inside the base. And Mana Burn is so good against Sylar with that Necro Archer. I mean, they need a little bit more than that. They'll have EMP soon. He's got a point in Wex already, so EMP is going to be available. And coming out in force, as he's maxed out his Exhort right now. 2 points into the Invoke as well. He's getting close to that third and fourth if he wants to place it down now. He certainly can. ROTK continue to just farm away. And Roshan is going to be up. Well, we don't know when just yet, but it's back and forth that we go, it feels like. There still is that gold lead for Orenda, but it seems like, I mean, yeah, the experience lead now for VG, it kind of just shouts that VG are ahead at least a little bit in terms of momentum in this game. And with Sylar picking up a BKB as well, that's a really strong item for him. He can either pop it after the reincarnation, beforehand if he wants to, and Orenda will have to deal with that guy running around in a fight with magic immunity.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you wait with the Darkseer initiation until there is actually everyone slowed down. So if you just pop your reincarnation slow in like 3 people or something, suddenly there's going to be a hammer drop. Suddenly there's going to be an A ultimate just bouncing on everyone's head and just killing everyone. And well, speaking of killing, RTK in the mid lane, guess he's going to be fine.
I'm not so sure. Cold Snap bringing him down. He's got level 4 Surge, so he's pretty quick, but so are Yi and the rest of the squad. They'll use that Ice Blast coming through. ROTK, he's going to Surge himself again. Entangling Root Proc, please. They just cannot get it. The RNG is not quite there, so you're right. He'll be fine. He'll get back home.
Even TPs to the base, so there is no Sunstrike opportunity.
Yeah, he'll be okay, but they'll rotate down to the mid lane here while that's all happening. Tier 2's getting pressured bottom. They've got a glyph if they want to go for this, but it looks like they want to force TPs back for this tier 3 tower. They pop the Necro 3 as well. TPs from Vici Gaming. Now maybe you back off your Orenda here. You see that everyone's around, but they have that pipe still on them. The bear getting caught out. Fortification's going to go. Sylar going to pop his BKB, vacuum back in, only onto one. Now, they're still looking for that bear. They'll find it. Looking for Wraithfire Blast. It's going to go. Arrow was stolen. Flies through. Sails away, missing. Sylar now, the reincarnation. It's going to get popped. They're all slowed up. They don't want to fight into the wall. Maybe they can pick him off again here. Astral might come through. There's the Force Staff and the Astral coming in. They have that Raining Spur. Sylar getting low. He'll surge himself away, or get surged away, rather. And, I don't know. That's impressive, Orenda. They've wasted a lot of the ults coming out for Vici Gaming. They still have that Sandy's Eclipse, but no wall to deal with now. They can maybe try to go for this tier 3 and get it done.
Yeah, exactly. No reincarnation means you can just not go as aggressive as you want to as a Wraith King, and there is already defensive force of being used, so that's a big deal. And it's a nice arrow on the bear. Is he gonna fall? Yeah, looks like. But is there a resummon? And
No.
oh, there is none.
They just used
Oh,
it.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, they can't go anymore. Now they're going to try to fight this. Wraithfire Blast, long range, he cannot get it. There's no Force Staff available coming out from FY or for Fenrir, or for whoever has it. Or Super, rather. Fenrir is still, he's actually got an urn, no Aghanims just yet. FY has that Force Staff like we talked about. They're going to try to go for Roche Sunstrike it. Realize it's not up and, well, they're still secure. But Orenda, they need to position themselves for that Roshan, I feel like. I feel like that's a pretty critical element to this game. It's got to be Aegis.
Yeah, definitely. If you have your Wraith King on like a triple Aegis, yeah, that's gonna be very fun. Although I'm not sure, you could also give the Aegis to Super, but I feel like as soon as he drops his hammer and has used his scythe, he's gonna be okay. Like, it's okay to die afterwards.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is
And
under
I agree
attack.
with you. He would like to get up the right click in the fights, but, I mean, Sandy's Eclipse and Hex are really big components in a team fight, especially if you can catch somebody off guard. And with the way they're killing that bear too, they're focusing it so hard anytime they try to push to the base. That's the kind of the key for the lone druid bear. And it's getting to that point where it's like not as tanky as you might think it would be, and it just falls very quickly, which you talked about already. Like, this bear needs to be doing work on the towers, and it got it low, but
Oh, RTK.
Black is going to throw the arrow out. That's bold. He's got no friends to help him out here, and ROTK really can, he can get some friends there as well. So,
Well, you know, scouting arrow.
just throw it out, just casually, see if it hits.
Yeah.
It's like, look,
I mean, if it hits, it's like nice.
it's like, oh man,
Minus
it's so
arrow
good.
accuracy.
Yeah.
Could have done it one days when I wanted to like check in arrow accuracy as well as hook accuracy. It's good times.
Yeah, I need stats like that here. God.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're still in the infancy of Dota 2 for the most part. Our 4th international coming up. Orenda,
Allies
they'll be in the qualifying spot, trying to fight it out for that slot into TI4 in Seattle. Obviously, they've got a lot of real strong competition, which, I mean, has been talked about. Dreamtime, HGT, LGD.
Even CS.
Yeah, CIS2. Black has been a monster recently, so there are a lot of solid teams in China right now. And Orenda's not playing terribly here, and they had a rough game in that first one, but they're looking solid here, and you could argue that they had the lead. The problem is Super and Styler are going to be tough to deal with here in a little bit. Yim, he's getting close to an Assault Cuirass. In fact, he's almost got it. He just needs the recipe. And that means armor reduction, super nice for pushing in, really just taking fights when they want to take them as well. So Roshan is now up. Maybe this is where we see the team's head in a couple of minutes or so, but 31 minutes in, and no one shows signs of stopping here in this game.
Yeah, also to note, VG actually picking up triple BKBs as well as double 4-stars. And if you have a Wraith King carry, you need to have some sort of, I want to say, mobility item as a Wraith King to go into the fights and actually chase people down. And so far, well, he doesn't have a 4-star or a Blink Dagger on himself, but there is 2 on his own team, so that is actually a really big deal. And suddenly the Wraith King can just go and right-click the people down. And well, if he activates his armor, he's on 2.2k HP, and he's got really good armor picking up the plate mail.
Oh yeah.
So this guy is gonna be really carrying hard in the next team fight. And well, speaking of carrying hard, if you have an Aegis to boot, you're just gonna have, well, you're just gonna carry a little bit harder once again.
They're going to use the Sunstrike to catch it out of position. Are they a bit too late? It looks like they might be. Arrow's going to fly through. It looks like a hit Roche. They'll take it down. Super's going to grab the Aegis. Will they try to go for a fight at the backside of this? It looks like no. And that was a bit too late for Orenda. They should have used that Sunstrike a bit earlier, but nonetheless. If you look at 290's form too, he's actually almost at a sight of his own. He's been playing very well, and he's actually leading the net worth chart right now. So 290, he's one of the heroes that's going to get them back in this game, along with that Lone Druid, which he's playing very well. He just finished up that Assault Cuirass now, but with the Aegis, they're probably not going to go for a fight or a push anytime soon. Still, though.
Yeah, I wonder what the game plan is going to be for Orenda. Are they confident taking this late?
Maybe they need a smoke, I think. Or a Moonlight or something. Because if they've caught RTK out of position numerous times, but they just couldn't bring him down. That was the last Moonlight we saw too, the last smoke Moonlight. Was them trying to go after RTK and they just couldn't get anything done. But there is a BKB on Bristleback now who we haven't really talked a lot about ZYF, man. Like, this guy has done a bit of work in the early game, but you know.
Well, he's got a pipe, he's got a mechanism, so he is going for this team play oriented build, which is rather surprising to not see him. Actually, picking up both is really going to be starving you out on the mana side. And even though we're 33 minutes in, he's still level 13. And he needs to kind of thread switch here, otherwise he can't spam out his quills as much as he wants in the fights. And especially with an OD, like, get Asphalt once and suddenly all your mana's gone.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, that's a decent amount of mana. Like, he won't be able to Viscous Nasal Glue as much. Even though the mana cost for those abilities are low, the amount that you spam is kind of ridiculous, so. And, well, he'll have the BKB as well, which is nice, but he really is going for that kind of just team play sort of build with that item choice that he's got. So now he'll back off. They're going to stay on their side of the river for the most part. They just want to farm, and that just means Yim is getting bigger. So I feel like maybe it's the onus is on VG to try to make something happen, and with that being said, they'll smoke up and they'll try to find a kill potentially top, but the Lone Druid is nowhere near. They'll maybe get the kill on the bear, but bear is not as good as perhaps the hero itself, so.
Although, I want to say, if they kill the bear right now, they're lifting up right here. Yeah, they've got so much damage to kill this. Okay, so he's gonna go down, which means a 2-minute window with only one bear when you're actually forcing a team fight. And considering there's still an Aegis onto Super, Vici can still push if they want to, and they have the triple BKBs up ready to go.
Oh boy,
wow.
Sylar is bold. There's no Necro 3 right now, there's no Sentry Wars there either, there's no gem up, and oh my god, he is in a very precarious position. And they're actually just zoning out ROTK. They think he's the only one here. Everyone is still top for the most part for VG, and everyone is mid for Orenda. So Yim will back off now, going for that Ogre Club next, and alright, well, VG.
What is this gonna be though? Are you going BKB on the Druid?
On the Druid or on the Bear. I think you could use the BKB on the Bear.
Both.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, yeah. I mean, honestly, that's fine for Yim. I mean, like, his Bear's died so often. He hasn't really died, so he's really not getting focused down, but it's going to be nice against the OD for sure, and obviously Telekinesis is going to avoid that as well, so, which has been a kind of a nuisance, so we'll see. But now, like I said, VG, they want to go, and you talked about it, that bear, if it goes down again, it's not going to be up for a bit of time, so they'll try to force the engagement. I don't know, it looks like Orenda, they want to fight this, they're going to send up the Necro units, and, well, Sylar might get mana burnt here. He's got a bit of mana missing here. He's going to try to fight up on this Necro Warrior and just take it down as quickly as possible. He'll take the backlash damage. He doesn't seem to mind. He uses the armlet for the most part, and he'll toggle back up if he needs to. A big fight might break out. They'll throw the Mjolnir charge on the Bristleback here, and he might just run at them. Sylar taking a bit of damage from that static shield. FY, he's got that Force Staff. They're ready to fight, but they're going to back off instead. not really willing to push into that. But now the Necro's down. There's still, well, Bear will be able to be resummoned twice now in about 20 seconds, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, and suddenly, well, if you fight in double bears, that's always very annoying. The question is, though, I mean, okay, so let's check this. We've got every ultimate ready to go into the side of Vici. Obviously the same for Orenda as well, but still, they're going to be spotting an Aegis on top of that, so I'm really surprised to see them not fighting. And also I'm really surprised that Sylar actually popped his magic wand, because he had like 8 charges, and you really need every charge you can get to not get mana burn down. But there's another bear being caught out. Oh man, that's such a big deal.
And I said before that you'd like to see the hero go down maybe instead if you're, obviously going for VG here, but a bear is just as useful. I mean, you talked about why. Having 2 bears is really crucial, but they're going to smoke up, they're going to pipe up as well, they're going to fight. Sylar might get caught out. ZYF not going to fight up high ground. He'll get Wraithfire blasted, Deafening Blast on ROTK, trying to run in. He has that BKB, arrow's going to fly, it's going to hit on Super. No, he just avoids it, they all miss it. Nice dodge skills there. They entered the Matrix. Now they're going to look for the high ground, and, well, maybe they rotate for the Tier 2 tower mid instead. Okay, fair enough. They get the Tier 2 tower. They don't lose anybody. The smoking from Orenda, it fails, but they've got to try something, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. If you're losing bears left, right, and center, suddenly game is going to be way harder than it should be. And, well, the thing is, I can't really fault Yim. He has to just use his bear to push out the lanes, because otherwise there's going to be a bit too much pressure onto them. If they lose one team fight a bit too hard, there's going to be like way too much damage. And even though VG doesn't have the best tower pushing lineup, like on the paper, the fact that the Wraith King is so farmed still gives them a lot of potential to just take down those buildings.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're going to try to fight behind the buildings instead, at least for the time being. Meatball's going to fly out, they'll avoid it. Sylar's still working on taking this down, and yeah, and they will deny it. Well played, Sylar. He has reincarnation, he's going to get hexed up right now. Is this beginning of a fight? BKB's going through, nice force away. Sylar doesn't want to waste that reincarnation. He will, he'll go down. BKB for ZYF still going, about to go off cooldown. Arrow lands on Sylar. He's low, he's done. I don't know if they can fight this. They're working on Super. Hex is up on ZYF. The fight breaking out of the backside right now. Double kill coming up for ROTK. Sanity's was blown. 3 for 2 trade thus far. Buybacks coming through from a couple of heroes. Somehow VG are turning this around. The Bear doing work on Fenrir and on ROTK, but they have to back off now potentially. Fenrir is going to TP out. That fight was all over the place. I couldn't keep my camera centered anywhere. Difficult to follow, but they'll hold for the most part.
Oh, it's good that you have the cam. I had like 3 frames in total. I just, everyone sitting until the reincarnation was there, and then suddenly everyone was dead. I was like, hey, what? Well, at least he kept me updated, so yeah. Looking like a good fight for VG. So who bought back for this? Let's check this real quick
I think
here.
it was just 290 coming out for the side of Orenda.
And that's a costly one, he's so high leveled.
Yeah, I don't even know if he needed to, actually. I mean, with the buyback, that did push them back, but there was already a couple heroes dead for VG that weren't going to buy back and jump into the fight, so... ROTK, though, did work. He must have with that wall of replica. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. I was watching Super kind of focus somebody at the back lines and had to switch the camera, but ROTK getting things done here, and with 39 minutes in, that's actually a decent fight going for them. They get the Tier 2 tower, they lose the Wraith King, yes, but that's not a bad loss. The Aegis, it looks like it just got expended when they took him down, so he'll pick up a Shiva's Guard next. He actually has enough money for it. He'll send the courier out to get that Mystic Staff, and all of a sudden, Super is very farmed. Sylar, his Assault Cuirass, what about that? Is that getting done anytime soon? Yeah, he just needs the Hyperstone. But Orenda will push down mid, potentially looking for a fight here, and maybe try to end the game, or at least force some buybacks.
Yeah, also RTK now going for the Refresher Orb, so I think you had it all right there. I saw some 3-man vacuum into wall combination, I think. And so, yeah, if he repeats this performance, it's going to be really good. And, well, Orenda, looks like they just want to go and group up and get some stuff done here.
Oh, Sylar is way out of position. He still has reincarnation. And again, the Force Staff's coming into play every single time. Now the pipe is going to go. The Necro Warrior and Archer are up. The Forged Spirits, the Bear, it's rabid, it's hungry, it's ready to go. They'll take down this group wave very quickly. They alacrity the Bear. They'll send it on this Tier 3 tower, try to finally break the base. It will go down, but now ZYF, Deafening Blast going through. There's the BKB. Big vacuum. Where's the wall? It hits up. The AA ult, it's coming through. It's going to miss. Sylar manning on ZYF right now, working on him. Now they're going to go towards the Bear instead. That was a huge vacuum, but there was no wall, or it was just a bit too late. Oh man, Orenda, they were so close to death there. But they're going to go once again. This time for Rax, it looks like.
Yeah, and what a change of events it's been. I was just checking the gold graph, and suddenly Orenda just... They had like a 7.5k gold lead, what was it, like 50 minutes in? And Vici actually managed to just even it out completely on the null point, but still. So, experience still going the way of Vici, but... So I'm not sure. Are the Rex dropping?
Yeah, that bear is going to go down, but nice deafening blast coming through. A lot of damage from VG being taken, but they'll resummon the bear. They'll get ready to go again if they want, or they can back. Roshan is now up if they want to take it. The bear, he did buy that BKB. He just used it in that last engagement not too long ago, so it's down for 23 seconds. With this BKB, they want to get a set of racks. Sylar still has reincarnation. ZYF, no BKB for him. Wraithfire Blast is going to go. Arrow's going to fly. I think it might have hit on ROTK. There's the Sandy's Eclipse. Takes down ZYF, but he's the only one to fall. The bear, now it's dead for a at least full minute and a half. Astral's going to go, and maybe we'll see the Lone Druid go down as well. Sylar going to man up on him right now. The Shiva's Guard's going to go through. TPs are going elsewhere. They will get the rest of the team out, but the Lone Druid going down, that's a bit disastrous potentially from Orenda.
Yeah, he's gonna be so long on the sidelines, and even if he respawns, he doesn't have a bear ready to go immediately, and... Well, suddenly, it's 11 for 14 on the board, so not the most kills, if my counter is actually... Yeah, so it looks like my counter is correct. I'm just watching the team fights on the stream, but yeah. Oh man, what a game it has been. I'm still surprised. I mean, Black... He got up him Mjolnir, even though he was like a 4 position, and that was really crazy stuff. And he also got 2k goals in the bank, so hats off to the Mana 4 position. I really like seeing Mirana in such a versatile role. I think the hero's just great.
Yeah, I agree with you. Rana's done really well in these past couple of... Well, just in general, Black has been on point with his arrows, with his Moonlight Shadows as well, and the Mjolnir is obviously helping out a lot, like you talked about. We haven't really looked at the items too much, though, but there is that Refresher Orb done for ROTK. There's actually an Axe flying out to FY right now, and Fenrir almost has his as well. So they have a huge lead. There's only 2 buybacks, one from the Lich and one from the Lone Druid, and as you mentioned, might not be that important as well. The Bear, if it goes down twice, it's going to be a bit problematic. It's, well, not even up yet right now. They're going to try to surge forward here. There's the Meatball going through. Sylar, he's got cheese now. He doesn't want to pop that maybe until after reincarnation. This is tough to push into, though, with all the abilities at 290's, I guess, just disposal. It's going to be difficult, but Rubik can just start stealing spells like crazy. 5-second Scepter cooldown. FY is going to start going hard, I feel like.
Yeah, if he steals the Lich Jane Frost, it's going to be bouncing, well, for some time. It is actually surprising to see him go for the Aghanim Scepter, considering the only upgrade he can really steal is going to be the Chain Frost, but still... It's gonna be completely fine. Just, you know, just steal some stuff. It's wonderful.
I think it's more so about stealing the, I think, Invoker spells at a rapid rate.
Okay.
I mean, when you think about it, that's really what makes sense because he's got the most spells at his utensil, so you just keep hitting R on the Invoker and maybe get something done there. But they smoke up. They're looking for a kill here. Orenda, they have not been scouted out just yet, but the smoke about to go. The arrow's going to fly through just off the mark from Sylar, who's going to walk away from it. And now they know that they're up in this top jungle, so... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, by the way.
Yeah, I was just making sure, like, this ward, I think it actually scouted out the smoke. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm dropping frames again. I'm just watching stream for now.
Yeah, well, nothing like slideshow Dota to watch, but...
Hell yeah.
Luckily the camera's not affected and still providing pretty solid analysis, so I do have to thank you for being here. I mean, it's pretty late, I guess. Well, I guess it's early for you, but late for me, I suppose, here on the East Coast, but... We've got a good one here, and not the most action in the world like you talked about, but still exciting stuff. 44 minutes in, Orenda, they had a lead, and they had a pretty solid one at that, but it's just kind of dwindling now. FY, he'll try to TP away. It looks like he'll make it out in time. Aghanim Scepter now done for the Invokers, so speaking of stealing spells, well, he'll just be casting them at about a rapid rate. In fact, it's just a 2-second cooldown with that Aghanim Scepter, which is disgusting, and he's getting pretty farmed now, so he'll be one of the heroes to look out for.
Yeah, but I mean, picking up an Aghanim Scepter as Invoker, obviously you're gonna be like a machine gun, just putting out spells left, right, and center. But the Rubik is gonna have a great time as well. And I mean, so far, considering this is FY's Rubik, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a complete tornado meteor combination from the Rubik himself.
If he does that, I'm just gonna go crazy. I mean,
oh yeah,
FY is he's a man when he plays this hero, and he's just, I think, probably my favorite Rubik player. Some will argue that Kuroki's probably better, but I just love watching FY play this hero. He's just fantastic.
I mean, both are pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, Kuroki just casually farming up a bear as a lone druid. That's something really crazy to see, you know. You don't see this every day.
No. But, well, it's getting into the late game, I suppose, for the most part, and it's really coming down to who can push into the base. We've seen Orenda take a stab at it. and they've gotten close. And it would have been so nice for them to take that set of racks mid, but they just couldn't quite do it. It looks like they're going to lose the last outer tower of this game. They're not going to defend. They're just sitting in their base right now. Mirana just picked up a diffusal blade, mind you, which is really big because, well, the Hex, it can get purged off, and that'll be really nice to have, but we'll see if it goes. Arrow's going to fly. It misses again. Those arrows have been off the mark for the past couple of times. ZYF, he's going to get Astral. He has his BKB. Arrow was stolen, by the way, and it's not going to hit on ZYF. He'll BKB out of the Astral. Deafening Blast is going to go, not hitting on anybody. They'll back off now. They don't want to commit too much. ZYF, they know that his BKB is down. Sylar, he just used his. Even before he reincarnated, he even didn't use the cheese yet. He's not willing to use either of those items. Well, abilities, rather, and items. Arrow's going to fly again off the mark from ZYF there. Just a bit late. Chain Frost going through, force away. Can FY steal it is the question. I'm not sure. Meatball was stolen instead. Sanity's Eclipse gets dropped. They kill the side of ZYF. Getting caught out. Vacuum wall. It's on point. Another vacuum and wall might be coming soon as refreshes up. ROTK getting low. 290 trying to do what he can. There's the reincarnation. The second wall is up. 290 trying to ghost walk in between the lines. Doesn't matter. ZYF fought back. He's done. They're overrunning the base. Yee. Look at the astral damage. Too much. The Arcane Orb going to work. Orenda, the last one alive, is going to be black. They will call GG. And just like that, a superior team fight going the way of VG, and they will 2-0 Orenda, who desperately needed these wins. They'll go down, but really well played series coming out from Vici Gaming.
Yeah, once again, like Vici just completely showing the dominance here. What looked like a very even game early on, it's just a bit of experience. I feel like the experience factor really coming into play as soon as you hit the stride on your late game. This late game decision making is really hard to just get down to because it's just so much about experience. And well, Vici Gaming, I mean, everyone knows him, everyone knows how strong they are, and they've got an amazing lineup, and everyone's just so good, period. And also the team coordination is just so insane. I mean, I'm just really impressed. Although, I have to say, like, once again, Black, he impressed me a lot on his Mirana. And I feel like, even though they're kind of lost, I'm really sad to see because this Mirana was doing so much work.
Yeah, I think Orenda have impressed a lot of people with that game. Even if they couldn't pull it out in the end, they had a really solid game plan. They had a really good time trying to get all of those outer towers and getting a couple kills early on as well. They led the early game for quite some time, but that is going to be it for this series. We're going to jump right into, I guess, the big one, Invictus Gaming versus Vici Gaming. That'll be coming up shortly. And guys, make sure you stick around here on Beyond the Summit. Once again, my name is Mott. With me is Pimp Munkle. The BTS guys, they're taking a much-deserved day off, having some fun, and we're just relaxing, really, more than anything. So go ahead and follow Beyond the Summit at twitter.com/Beyond the Summit. You can follow me at twitter.com/MottDota2. You can follow Pimp at twitter.com/PimpMunkle. And we are going to step out, take a quick break, and, well, guys, stick around.